Josh, anything new on the stock market on your side?
Not too much. I guess we can start a bit of some banter and some friendly chat as people start joining in.
Hmm.
Um, One thing which I would take into note is that right now the market itself, or as I call him, Mr. Market, is is quite volatile. And one thing to take away is that the market is never wrong, and the market always makes its mind up. The market either says yes, we'll go up, or no, I will go down. So with that in mind, you sort of have to think like Mr. Market. Say, you never want to be on the fence. It's either you find an investment, you say, okay, let's do it, or you say, nope, let's wait, right? And
Hmm.
that sort of helps with building up your strategy as to when you want to start getting into the marketplace or whatnot.
Hmm.
You always want to enter the marketplace with a strategy there, so you're not you're not really overwhelmed or
Hmm.
underwhelmed when you see the market's going up. Then you want to get excited, or the market's going down, you want to start to cry.
Hmm.
It comes down to having that strategy and sticking to that strategy. A good thing also is finding a mentor or someone who you can say, okay, I like how this person is, I like their style, and you start to learn and mimic from them. And usually as you mimic people, you start to learn and pick up little patterns, and it gives you a better understanding of the market in a way which you would understand.
Hmm.
And as sort of like with the when you go to the gym, you start lifting weights and you get better at it because you continually do it. Same with anything in life, and this is no different from learning to invest and understanding money. That you want
Hmm.
to find someone who you say, I would like to be that person in 5 or 7 years or so, and you really just follow and model their patterns as best you possibly can, and
Hmm.
you'll start to see your gains or whatnot. So usually there's two types of investors really. It's the long-term investor and the short-term investor. So that's really the basics as to what you want to do is figure out, am I going to be a short-term investor? Short-term day trader, maybe hold stocks for a week, month max, and you switch, or you want to be a long-term investor where you're
Hmm.
holding stocks for years or so forth. So that's usually the principle from how I got started, was understanding what style do I want to pursue, what
Hmm.
style best suits you as the individual or so forth, and then you proceed with that style going forward, and you stick to that
Hmm.
style, and that's what makes you successful, right?
Hmm.
As I like to always use examples, example being like, Michael Jordan, he had a style and he stuck that style, and he mastered that style, and that's why he's so great. Same with Warren
Hmm.
Buffett. He has that style and he stuck to that style, and that's why they're great. So you want to stick to a style and build and develop that style, and you'll definitely see your results.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that's great. Yeah, thanks for that, Josh.
No
Um,
problem.
yeah, I don't think she's joining. Hmm. Otherwise, what I'll do is that I would go over. I know some tools that she's using, so I can definitely go over those tools. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna start. So, yeah, basically there is one thing that I wanted to hear about Monica is that we see that in the group she's always sending all of those alerts. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, she's here. Okay, is your microphone working,
Hmm. Who are you looking for?
Monica?
Is that M. Welsh?
Yes.
Oh, okay, the microphone's turned off. So if you tap the screen, then options will come up. It will be the microphone, hang up button, and the camera phone. If you tap the microphone button, then it will unmute. There you go.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay, very cool.
great, great. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Monica, for joining. So I'll just do a little introduction, just because with all of the stocks that you're sending every morning, it's really
Mhm.
great actually. So I'm always like looking at it, see what's going on in the market. And it's great because also it gives great opportunities. So that's why actually I asked you if you could just tell us how you find those stocks and like where do you go, and also we can also do it and be part of all of that process as well. So
Great.
yeah,
Yeah. Hi there. Did you want me to
yeah.
start?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you can start.
Sorry about that.
If you want, also, I'm not sure if you wanted to share your screen or not. If you can't, I can also go on some websites and
Yeah.
yeah, I can show it, present it for you.
Okay, so the
So yeah,
one I'll probably use will be Finviz. So yeah, we
you
can
want
take a
me to
look at
open
that
it
one. Yeah, please.
or
Thank you.
okay, okay, sounds. All right. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, it's blank.
It's
No,
you don't see my
I'm not.
screen?
No, I don't. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Josh, you see my screen?
No, I just wait a second. Let me push this up. Yep, now I see it. Go.
I
Yep.
can see your
Okay.
screen, Bryce.
Yeah, Monica, you can see it, right?
No, I can't
Okay.
see it.
I
Okay.
think Bryce has two screens on my computer.
No, I have only
Oh.
one screen.
Mm.
Okay, I can see you.
Okay.
If you see Bryce, you there should be a little icon that has a pin
Okay.
and a arrow that points up. If you click on the arrow that's pointing up, then it will push to the presenting screen.
Okay, excellent. I found it. Okay,
Okay,
great.
perfect.
All right. So that is one of the sites that I use daily just to check what stocks are doing well in the market. As you can see okay, so first we'll look on the large green, black, red screen on the right. So every morning I take a look at that just to get a sense of the market. Now, today I was at work, so I'm not really sure how overall the market did, but based on that green, all the stocks, the majority of the stocks seem to have been up today. So to me, that means it would be a great day because the stock values would probably go up. Now, if the market is, say, red, right? So if the screen that you're looking at on the right is red, that's also a good time to buy because that means that oftentimes the stocks are like losing value. So it's kind of like buying stocks on sale. The good thing with Finviz is, as you can see on the left there, right? I think one of the stocks today went over 250. Yeah. So what was that? UONE?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you click on it, right? You get a complete picture of the stock. So you see how well it's done for the week, for the month, year to date. You go down to the very bottom, there'll be news on the stock. So it will tell you why the stock has done so well today, why it's doing so well today. They'll have a stock chart, right? You can take a look at the chart and see the prices of the stock. And then you can see how drastically it has gone up today.
And Monica, for the group,
Mm.
would you be able to explain to them the difference between the candles and the line chart?
I'm not really great at charts. I don't understand. I don't really trade with them that much. I do know
Okay.
that the green means that the stock has increased in value, right? So the price has gone up. The red, right? That means that the price of the stock is going down. I'm more like RSI, and I'm more support and resistance when I trade. So I'm not that great with candles. Um, I will use like line to help to determine the RSI of the stock, right? Because if the stock is like 30, RSI 30, then it's a good time to buy the stock. If the stock is at say like 70, 80, that often means the stock is oversold, right? And that means it's then a good time to sell the stock, right? It wouldn't be a good time to buy it because at that time the stock price is so high, right? So it's always better in terms of our RSI to buy a stock when it's between like 30 and 40. Another important thing is to know the support of the stock and the resistance.
Sorry, Monica, there is a question. Just to Colin is asking, what do you mean by RSI?
Relative strength index.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'll have to look up the definition as such, but that's what it means.
Okay, is
So
it possible to see it on the screen?
RSI.
Yeah, the RSI.
Yeah, that's another good thing with Finviz. If you scroll down,
Hmm.
you will see RSI. It's in the second column to the right. So right now the RSI is 89.
Hmm.
So that means it's oversold. So that wouldn't actually be a good time to sell it. Sorry, that would not be a good time to buy it because the RSI is so high. Like I said, you want to buy stock when it's like 30, 40. That's the best time to buy a stock. RSI.
Okay. Any other question?
Now, another screen, if you could go up on the screen, please. Okay, so they also have news. So that's right on the top left, next to home is
Yeah.
news.
Mhm.
So if you click on that, right, it's like a complete list of stock news, everything you want to know about stocks for the day. So that's available to you there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Let's go
good.
back up again. And you have the screener.
Are you using the screener a lot?
I use the screener. Yeah, I use the screener a fair amount, and I've had some success with that. What I will do is
Mhm.
I will send a picture of the different filters that you could put in on Finviz, and that will give you a list of stocks that are doing well in the market, so you can buy like long term or short term. So I will definitely send that those sets of filters, and then you can use them and yeah, purchase stocks based on that information.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
There was another page. Okay, so if you go to signals, so right there, right where
Yeah.
you were, Bryce,
Hmm.
on signals, it
Is
says
it
none
this
or
one?
all stocks. Yep. So click on that.
Yeah. Hmm.
If you could drop down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, where are you?
I clicked on it now.
Okay. No. So none, all stocks.
Yes. Non all stocks. Yeah.
Yeah, drop down.
Yeah.
Or maybe click on the actual arrow. It's not even nothing's dropping
Yes.
dropping down.
Yeah, on the arrow.
Oh, you don't see it? Because I see a list. Maybe you don't see it.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
we don't see it.
Oh, okay, okay. Are you looking for oversold, maybe?
No, I was actually, because what Finviz also has is like most volatile stocks,
Mm-hmm.
stocks with low LSR, low RSI, sorry,
Okay.
stocks that are gaining. So
Okay.
those
So now I
are
put the most
worthwhile.
volatile one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So those are, good opportunities. Like when you buy those stocks, it's a good
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to make money buying
Okay.
those stocks. Yeah. So Finviz is actually one of my favorite sites I go to just to check and see how the stock market's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd highly recommend it. And
Okay.
like I said, I will send a picture of the filters that I use in order to find stocks that will possibly go up tomorrow or go up like short term or long term.
Okay. Just a
Yeah.
question. Are you using mostly fundamental or technical for your filters?
Yeah. So technical, right? Things like support resistance and then again RSI. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you buy a stock at support, right, that is often the price that's close to the lowest for the day, right? So that's the price that most buyers will come in at, right? Most buyers will buy stocks at support. And you
Mm-hmm.
also want to buy a stock at support. And
Mm-hmm.
then a resistance, right? That's kind of like the ceiling, kind of like the top price for the day, right? And that's when the price of the stock will come back down. So you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
buy a stock when it's at resistance. You always want to try and buy a stock when it's at its support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Um, is my screen frozen? Anyone?
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I can see you again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you cannot see my screen anymore.
No, I can't
Okay,
I can't
let
see the
me just
Finviz site.
okay, let me do it again. Okay. You see it now?
I'm sorry?
Do you see it
No,
now?
I can't see Finviz.
I
Oh,
can see your screen.
okay. So okay. Anyways, you can keep on going, Monica, on Finviz.
Okay, so another section in Finviz is the groups. If you could go on groups, please.
Yes.
Okay, so um, it will show you the different sectors like technology, real estate, and such. And then it also shows you what they've done over like a 1 day period, 1 week, a month. If you just scroll down, you can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So then if you just click on, say, what are we looking at? If you could go back up, please. Okay, so technology, right? Technology, 1 day performance, it's done really well. If you click on that, it will give you a group, a set of stocks. So if you just want to click on that, please.
Yeah, I clicked on it.
Okay, so it should open up a group of stocks.
Hmm.
Why is it not doing that? Yeah, so
Do you
normally
see it?
what would happen, right? It would open and it would show you um, a set of stocks that have done really well. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So that's set of stocks. Now, if you could click on performance,
Where is it?
just above that, a little bit above that, you'll see performance.
Yeah.
If you click on that, yeah, so it then shows you how well the stocks have done. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of information that you can get from Finviz that's
Hmm.
worthwhile. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great for day trading, great for swing, great for long-term trading. Great. It's a lot of information that we provide. And I use Finviz yeah, every day that I trade, I look on that. I look on this site.
Hmm.
But
Okay,
you
that's
also
good.
you use it as well, correct?
Yeah, I use it as well. And
Yeah.
there is something I would like to add also. It's just at the beginning of the meeting, just were mentioning about having a strategy when it's time to buy stocks, if we're planning to buy long term, short term. And what is interesting with Finviz is that we can basically build our strategy. So we basically just want to find stocks that are matching our exact strategy.
Right.
So if you're more technical, as Monica was mentioning, there is the RSI. This one is a technical indicators that is draw on the chart. So you can find it on most of the softwares you use. You
Hmm.
can see the RSI. And the way you buy this indicator is if it's under 30, it's a good time to buy. If
Correct.
it's above 70, it's a good time to sell.
Correct.
So yeah, exactly. So this one is an indicator. You have also other ones like the moving average. So if the price is above the moving average, which is the average of the last prices of the
Hmm.
20-day last prices, then it's a good time to buy. If it's under, it's a good time to sell. So this is a bit how we see all of those indicators. And there
Right.
is also some patterns that we know on the charts that we want to see. So Monica was mentioning support and resistance. Maybe next time we can show what is support and resistance on a chart so you can actually like see it and recognize it and be able to trade with it.
Yes.
So those are all good patterns that are well known. So you can even read about all of those. There is a lot of research about that.
Hmm. Actually, what
Yeah.
I've done, my son, who is actually brilliant, he understands charts, so
Mhm.
he has compiled. I've asked him just to. I had a list of stocks, and I've had him just kind of indicate where the support and the resistance is on each of the stocks. So I'll also post that so everyone can have an idea of, yeah, exactly what resistance and support
Mhm.
is all about. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, it's the same thing for fundamental as well. So
Mhm.
it's great to know when you want to invest in a company, especially for long term. You want to have a company that has great return. So for every shares you buy of the company, you
Yep.
want to see if every time, every quarters, they actually make revenue. So that's why a lot of time we're going to look at the EPS, which is earning per share
Correct.
growth of the year. So if it's positive, then we can filter and have all of those stocks that are actually doing great, right? So you see this one is Autodesk. It's one on my portfolio. It's doing great. That's why I have it. Same thing over 5 years, next year. And also you can basically do all of those filters. You can combine those filters as well, which is really great to have
Mhm.
fundamental and technical together, which is
Mhm.
pretty good.
And touching base on the PE ratio, as you mentioned, what I'm gonna do for the group as well, I'm gonna send a link which does a very good job of breaking it down, so it helps you to understand um, how to read these numbers,
Mhm.
and then also, as you mentioned, proceed with, if you feel like it's a good stock to buy now or whatnot, or less. Example is like Hertz. You
Mhm.
go to Hertz if you look at them on a trading platform or whatnot,
Mhm.
and the EPS is at a minus number. So that means,
Mhm.
they're not making any money, and then the PE ratio is NA because they're not profitable.
Mhm.
So, as we were sort of talking before, we're a bit
How did
confused as pardon me.
and how did Hertz do today?
Hertz was ended in the red.
Yeah,
Okay.
minus 33%.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as mentioned, I'm more on a long term, so I look at these numbers,
Hmm.
and so for me, it's I just don't buy it because it's buying a worthless stock. So that's why I don't trouble it. But then again, if you're more day trading or whatnot, then you would play around with these ones, right? So
Yes,
like I said, it goes
exactly.
back to your strategy as to exactly how you want to tackle the market or whatnot. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
I
like
tend
to
to
look at.
be,
Go ahead.
sorry, I tend to be a trend trader. So they're definitely not long term, but if people are
Right.
buying them, right, then there's an opportunity to make money. So you also have
Exactly.
to look at volume, right? That's another factor that's important when you're buying a stock. Like if a lot of people are buying a stock, it may not even have any good value, but like people are buying it, people are putting money in the stock, so that's an opportunity for you to make money as well if you're
Exactly.
buying for short term. But yeah, definitely like Hertz, you would never hold long term. But for a short term profit, you just want to buy it, hold it for a short time. When the resistance get high, get out of it. When it goes back down to support, you could buy it, right? So there's opportunities for you to make money that way. But I completely agree with you. Like Hertz is not a company that you would hold on to.
Exactly. And I mentioned, you when you start understanding these numbers, and you make the better choice depending on your style. And
Hmm.
what I would also suggest for the group is to sort of maybe Bryce may want to set up as a questionnaire or so, just asking what is your style, if
Right.
it's long term or short term, and then that also helps to guide as to where different meetings, or where the next chat of the meeting will go. If there's a lot
Hmm.
of short term, then we can do that research and provide you with more information regarding that style. Or if it's a long term, then we do the
Yeah.
the vice versa and provide that information, so the group gets that knowledge. And there,
Yeah.
we want to make sure you're knowledgeable, and as I like to say, financially literate.
That makes
Because when you're
sense.
financially literate, you make money. You don't lose money.
Yeah. But I think also one could be a short-term investor, a mid-term investor, and a long-term investor. So you can buy things like Apple, Tesla, Facebook, like companies like that, right? And then you
Hmm.
can also buy like speculative stocks like Hertz or Genus or stocks like that that are going to make you a lot of money. You wouldn't invest like thousands of dollars in it, but you would invest like $100, right? Something, a small amount of money to get hopefully a quick return. So I would just like to put that out there as another way that one could trade.
Hmm. And that
Hmm.
goes
Sounds good.
mostly with the risk reward ratio. So we want to
Right.
make sure that when we buy something, it can go up like Hertz did. It went up like
Yeah.
100% few days last week, but it can
Yeah.
also go down 33%. So if you put a
Exactly. And
thousand
that's,
dollar, you lose $300, which is yeah, a lot.
yeah. Yeah. And that's another reason why you would have like a trailing stop loss, right? Because you want to minimize your loss, right? You
Hmm.
don't want to lose all your money.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
often trade, especially after I've made a profit, I will use a
Hmm.
trailing stop loss to ensure that, whatever profit I've made, I'm able to hold on to that and not lose all my money. Because nobody
Can
expected the market to tank on Thursday, and it did, right? So
mhm.
um,
Do
theoretically,
you
you could have lost a lot of money on Thursday. But fortunately, on
Hmm.
Friday, the market kind of rebound, and so you would be able to recoup some of that loss.
mhm.
Yeah. But I think
Do
it's
you think that
important to have,
so, sorry.
um, sorry about that. I think it's important to, I think, like you're saying, have a direction, have an idea of what you want from a stock, right, before you actually go in the trade.
Mhm. Do you think
Yep,
that you can
absolutely.
explain what is a stop loss? Just make sure that everyone knows, and a trailing stop loss also.
Yeah. So a stop loss, okay, let's suppose that you buy the stock at, say, $10, right? You
Hmm.
could put a stop loss, meaning that would limit the loss that you would have on the stock, right? So theoretically, you could lose all your money in the stock market, but if you put a stop loss in, it kind of stops out. So the stock would sell at a price. So if you put like 10%, the stock would sell once you've lost 10% of the value of that stock.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Right.
that's
Now,
good.
a trailing stop loss, which I often use, it it will go up if the stock goes up, and it will go down, right? If Sorry, I'm not explaining that right. Okay, so trailing stop loss is as the stock goes up, it adjusts, right? And then as it continues to go up, it also adjusts. So it would adjust if you put in like a 10%, it would adjust by 10%. And then if it went down, it would also limit your loss that you could incur on a stock.
Mm-hmm. How do you do that on a broker?
With Questrade, what I normally do is you have to buy the stock first, and then the same place where it says limit or
Mm-hmm.
market, it also gives you an option to put trailing stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the trailing
And
stop loss goes according to the price, or?
yes, exactly. You can set it percent wise, or you could set it at like 20 cents loss or 15% loss. It's up to you. It does give you an option to put either a percentage or a dollar cent amount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's
But
good.
it's one of the most important things that one should do when one's trailing.
Mm-hmm.
Because years ago, nobody thought that they would lose all their money in Nortel, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
didn't use stop losses. And then the next thing you know, the stock has no value and you've lost all of your money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's wise to always use trailing stop loss.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone has questions? Oh, Janelle has one. Sorry. Yeah. Monica, do you have a standard rate that you set your trailing stop loss?
Usually about 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. And there is no, so basically I use a strategy in the past where I was same thing as you. Basically, I was buying stocks, goes up when I'm profitable, I'm putting a stop loss. And what I was doing is that at the price is going up, I reduce the trailing stop. So I'm going from
Oh,
10% to 9%, 5%.
oh,
And
okay.
yeah, to reach the top of of yeah, I would say the curve or the top of the price I can get. So
Oh,
it's a
okay.
strategy that I was using,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Oh no, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that because normally I just set the trailing stop loss and I just leave
Mhm.
it. I don't normally adjust it, but that sounds like an idea.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah.
There is also something interesting. That is, I know you like to use indicators. So there is the average true range indicator, and
Okay.
that indicator is great. So for everyone that likes to see the volatility of a stock,
Yeah.
it's basically an indicator based on that. So you can also put your stop loss according to the volatility of the market. So if it's
Okay.
more volatile, sometimes you want to have something that is that gives a bit more space for the stock to move. So it's the average true range indicator.
Yeah.
Mm,
Very good. Very good.
yeah. Sorry, Colin asked a question. Yeah, Colin, can you explain why or your microphone? You can put your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So yeah, this question was really for you, Bryce. You said with your trailing stop loss, you went from 10% to 9%. You said it was. So are you still doing that, or if not, then like why'd you switch?
Hmm. So I was doing that before, especially because I used to do automated trading. So basically, it was the algorithmic kind of a bot that was trading for me on the stock market. So then it was easy because the bot was able to make those changes quick. But exactly, so that's why I was doing that. And I was also day trading, so trading for minutes. Now I'm trading more long term. So I don't really feel the need to do that anymore because it goes slower and I have more time to look at the market.
And
Uh,
for day trading, would you recommend that if you're looking for quicker gains?
I would definitely recommend, as Monica said, to have a stop loss. That is, it can be great if you do day trading. And the thing is that once you buy a stock, sometimes you don't want to exit the transaction, right? So if you're profitable, you don't want to exit right now.
Right.
And one good thing would just be to put a stop loss and leave the stock goes, right? So if it goes higher, then we make more. If it goes lower, then it closes. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm. There is a question, Monica. I don't know if you know about if it's possible to set the stop loss on Wealth Simple.
Oh,
I don't trade on Wealthsimple.
I can answer that one. So on
Okay.
Wealthsimple, they have a limit buy and they have a stop limit buy. So you can use those two options. A limit buy, it basically chooses the highest price per share you're willing to pay, or your limit. Then enter the number of shares you want to purchase, and I guess when your order, and only I guess if your order is complete, and when the market price is at or below your limit, then it is processed. So you can use those options, and how you use those options is when you go to buy your stock or your share on the Wealthsimple, and you get to the screen where it's going to ask you how many shares of, let's say, Apple do you want to buy. If you look up, there's going to be a button that will say market buy. So once you touch that button, those options will drop down, which I mentioned, the limit buy and the stop limit buy. And basically, you choose which one you would like to proceed with, and you proceed with the transaction. I hope that answered your question there. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the group and I'll happily help you out.
Adekemi, is
Another
it answering the question? Okay, no response. Yeah, sorry, Monica, you can go ahead.
another site I use is actually the Discord app, and that's more like a chat room. I will often, sorry, I've sent, I think on 2 occasions, like their list of popular stocks, and what it is, it's a list of stocks
What's
on
the
their
name? Sorry.
server. Discord, Discord.
Okay, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah, it's
This.
an app. I'm not sure if you'll be able to access it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, Discord
Yeah.
servers. You see my screen?
Sorry, let me go back there. I was trying to get the definition of a trailing stop loss to share with everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll get back on the screen.
And was there any other question? Just Adekemi, yeah, it seems to be fine.
Mhm.
Uh, Monica, you're muted. Is it working on your side?
Yeah, so for the trailing stop loss, I did find the definition for that. And Let's try to make better sense of it. But also, I'm going to put this definition and this website. It's Investopedia, and it's very good with defining terms and also giving examples how they're used. So you guys can, go to that website and just really take your time and digest the information. And then, of course, any questions you have, just forward them to the group and we'll answer them to the best of our ability.
There is one question, Monica, from Alex. Is the trailing stop loss running against your initial price or current average price as you buy the stock over time?
Are you like averaging down? Is that what you mean?
So I think that, Alex, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the question is, let's say if I'm buying a stock and I'm buying more shares in the future. So I'm buying a stock time 0. I'm adding some shares time 1.
Right.
How is the stop loss working according to that? In that situation.
Right.
That's a good question. I've never done that before. Usually I just hold on. I purchase the stock and I put the trailing stop loss on it. I'm not sure if you now put in a new position. I think you probably would have to then readjust the trailing stop loss. So you would have to put it in again, right? Because what you've created is now a new order, right? So I believe you would then have to put in a new trailing stop loss to go with the new order that you've placed. Does that make sense?
Okay. No, that's exactly it. I think you explained very well. That was my question about buying over time.
Yeah.
And you have to reset the stop loss at that point based on the new value. Oh,
exactly.
Okay. Perfect.
Exactly. And actually, that's a good idea. What you just mentioned, because what would happen is, let's say that you're buying Apple and Apple's $200, but then next month it goes down to like 175. That would be an excellent opportunity to buy it, right? But I think at that time you would then have to readjust your trailing stop loss, because what now happens is that the price of the stock has actually the price of the stock has actually gone down. So you would have to adjust the trailing stop loss on that.
Right. Exactly.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, Monica, you were talking about this board?
Discord. Yeah, so that's
Discord.
just a chat room that you go to, and there's a group of traders. I find them very, very informative. They're almost, I mean, that's what they do for a living, right? They stay home and they day trade. So they have good ideas in terms of charts, ideas about, support, resistance, ideas about different fundamentals on the stock. They talk about volume. So it's just another tool that you can use in order to trade your stocks and get additional information that you wouldn't necessarily find on, say, a mainstream, like a Finviz or a Google Finance or Yahoo Finance. So I use that chat room as well.
Is it a bit like kind of Twitter for stocks, where they just share information?
Yeah, it is. It is similar to stock tweets. It is. But on this site, they will also give you like support of the stock, right? They'll give you resistance. They'll give you an idea what's a good price to buy the stock at. They'll tell you if it's oversold or undersold, underbought. So yeah, it's just another. Yeah, I've joined, and actually, I set up my own server, so I'll also send a link to that.
Okay, so basically, once you have your server, you just everyone can join, and we can just share different things in the server. It's like a room, kind of.
Exactly. And they have a group of bots that will provide information, like they'll provide information on the stock's float, the stock previous prices, the popular stocks that are on the server. So there's actually quite a lot of information that you can get from this site.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions about this site? Yeah, Janelle is asking which servers do you recommend to join on Discord?
I will get a group. I'll get a set of links, and I will also post that. But you
Okay.
have to download. Yeah, you'll have to download the app. Then you have to register, and then you have to find the different rooms right there where they're discussing the stocks. So I will send the links to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, really interesting. Any other questions? No. Yeah, it seems like yeah, as Janelle mentioned, like Reddit. I don't use Reddit, but I think it's a forum. So is it like a
Yeah,
forum? Yeah, more.
yeah, it's like a chat room. Reddit, I think Reddit just like post information. There's not really, actually, no, I guess there is kind of feedback if you read their comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is more of a chat room. I'm not sure if anyone's been in a chat room. It's very similar to a chat room. So it's very interactive. So people are asking questions, people are answering questions, they're posting pictures, they're posting charts. Yeah, there's just a lot of activity that take place in these chat rooms.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Josh, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I guess one other question for the group is that we could also ask to see, what sort of account we're using, RSPs or the tax-free savings account.
Mm-hmm.
Just through my journey and as I've been collecting more knowledge and becoming more, financially literate, any rich person, speaking, people who have access of 10 million or more, they always advise me, do not do anything with the government. So they do not do RSPs or whatnot, and they said because it's geared towards running off your fears of, you don't have to pay taxes, you don't do this, and they sell you all these things, but later on up front they're gonna get you on it. So that's why I don't use any of those sort of programs, as they call it, from the government to help you with your money, because you're pretty much just ensuring the government has more money. And as I said, finding a mentor, someone who is well off and they understand, that's one thing they advised me. And I was talking to a few of them, and they all told me the same thing: is don't use RSPs or so. It's a government gimmick to make things look good, but it comes down to when you're financially literate and you know what you're doing, then you remove that fear and you make better choices. So that's my little advice I would share with you guys. You can choose to do as you please, but that's one of the better advices I was told in my journeys.
I guess the only good thing about RSP is like for now it offsets the taxes that you pay, right? So that's the good thing about RSPs. And then hopefully by the time you retire, you won't be making as much money. So when you cash out, you won't be taxed as high as if you were to cash out your RSPs now. RSPs it's for a long term, it's not for a short term investment. That's the only good thing about RSPs is like I said, it offsets your taxes. So every year you buy your RSPs and then you kind of, put them in on your tax return and then you pay less tax now. And then later on, like I said, hopefully you're not making as much money. You can take out that money, right, and be taxed at a lower rate than now. That's the good thing about RSPs. The problem with tax-free savings account is that you can't day trade in a tax-free savings account. The government will tax you if you do, right? So you would have to trade either on, a regular account or a margin account.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So if you're doing long-term investing, right, then you can use a tax-free savings account.
Mhm.
But if you're buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling stocks, then you can't use
Yeah,
your tax-free savings account for that.
you'd want to use a normal account for that
True.
stuff.
Yeah.
Michelle, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say one of the advantages with the tax-free account over the RSP is you can withdraw from the tax-free account if you needed the money for an emergency, but you can also put that money back in. Where an RSP, once you withdraw it, you can't put that money back in unless you use it for a home buyer's plan or a life learning plan. That's when you'll have to repay it back into the RSP. But once you remove the money from the RSP, you cannot put it back in. You've lost that room. And then the other thing is with the RSPs, a lot of companies, they will always set up like mutual funds or RSPs for you. I would suggest taking it because if they're going to match, you're getting free money. And then when you leave the company, then don't leave those funds with the company. What you should do is just take the funds and put it in like a Questrade account or whatever account and start buying out the mutual funds and move it over, even though it's in RSPs, but you now manage it within stocks. So that's another advantage.
I'm not sure I understood what you said. Now, if you take the money out of your RSP this year, you can still put money in next year. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can. So if your limit is, let's say, 50,000, and you withdraw 10,000,
right? Hello?
Based on the earn, you can't put it back into your RSP. So if I took out 10,000 today, I can't just draw, and I'm maxed at my room, I can't put that $10,000 back in. But with a tax-free account, if I took out, let's say 10,000, the following year I can put back 10,000 and I wouldn't go over my limit, like the 69.5. You can actually put that money back in.
But with the RSPs, the next year you could also put money back in.
If you're maxed at your limit, it's based on 18% of your earned income. You can't go over that amount.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks very much. Yeah, so now we're going towards the end. Anyone has questions about what we discussed? Seems
Or
that it's fine.
I guess a better thing to ask is if you have any questions on things which you're unsure of or something which you would like to know for the next meeting, then definitely leave it in the group or put it in the notes just now, and I will give us some time to look into it and provide you with some answers.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks, Josh.
No
So
worries.
yeah, I'm gonna share a form after. So if you can just say things or for next meeting also things that you would like to learn about that we can discuss or anything, you can just put it in there. So Josh, please, if you can send the links in the group that you mentioned.
Yeah,
I know
no
that
problem.
you mentioned Evanstopedia as well.
Yeah,
And,
I'm gonna shoot them to the group.
Yeah, sounds good. And Monica, would be great. Thanks, first of all. And it would be great if you can just send us the group, the server for Discord, so we can all join and get that information. Also share Finviz, and you said that you were going to share the filters.
I'll share a screener, the information for the screener. I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
I just wanted just the last thing to say. I'm not sure if everyone's actually aware of the times for trading, regular trading, which is like from 9:30 to 4 p.m. and it's just Monday to Friday. So there's pre-market trading and aftermarket, but the majority of people trade between 9:30 and 4, Monday to Friday.
Mhm. All right. Thank you very much.